Where it stopped, you have shamed the counsel of the poor, because the Lord is his refuge. Psalms 9 and 18. For the needy shall not always be forgotten, the expectation of the poor shall not perish forever. Perverting the judgment of the poor. Deuteronomy 24 and 17. Thou shalt not pervert the judgment of the stranger, nor of the fatherless, nor take a widow's raiment to pledge. Ecclesiastes 5 and 8. If thou seest the oppression of the poor and the violent perverting of judgment and justice in this province, marvel not at the matter, for he that is higher than the highest shall regards, and there be higher than they. Psalms 82 and 3. Defend the poor and fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and needy. Zechariah 7 and 10. And oppress not the widow, nor the fatherless, the stranger, nor the poor, and let none of you imagine evil against his brother in your heart. All right, Proverbs 31 and 9. Open thy mouth, judge righteously, and plead the cause of the poor and needy. Jeremiah 5 and 28. They are waxen fat, they shine, yeah? They overpass the deeds of the wicked. They judge not the cause of the fatherless, yet they prosper. And the right of the needy do they not judge. These are the judges of the earth. Now James 2 and 6. But you have despised the poor. Do not rich men oppress you and draw you before the judgment seats? Leviticus 25 and 17. You shall not therefore oppress one another, but thou shalt fear thy God, for I am the Lord your God. Micah 6 and 12. The rich men thereof are full of violence, and the inhabitants thereof have spoken lies, and their tongue is deceitful in their mouth. Proverbs 28 and 11. The rich man is wise in his own conceit, but the poor that has understanding searches him out. See, the poor man is the poor man is wise. Proverbs 22 and 16. He that oppresses the poor to increase his riches, and he that gives to the rich shall surely come to want. So you got some poor people who try to get rich off of poor people, and then they spend their money with rich people. They surely come to be poor again, because they spend their money on the rich and spend it with the rich. Now Proverbs 14 and 31. He that oppresses the poor reproaches his maker, but he that honors him has mercy on the poor. Psalms 10 and 17. Lord, thou hast heard the desire of the humble. Thou wilt prepare their heart. Thou wilt cause thy ear to hear. Psalms 10 and 18. To judge the fatherless and the oppressed, that the men of the earth may no more oppress. Psalms 119 and 122. Be surety for thy servant for good. Let not the proud oppress me. Who are the proud? The rich of the earth. James 2 and 9. But if you have respect to persons, you commit sin and are convinced of the law as a transgressor. So if you have respect to person between rich and poor, then you're committing sin. Amos 82 and 4 to 7. Saying, when will the new moon be gone, that we may sell corn, and the Sabbath that we may set forth wheat, making the ephah small and the shekel great, and falsifying the balance by deceit, that we may buy the poor for silver, and the needy for a pair of shoes, and sell the refuse of the wheat. The Lord has sworn by the excellency of Jacob, surely I will never forget any of their works. Proverbs 22 and 22 to 23. Rob not the poor, because he is poor, neither oppress the afflicted in the gate, for the Lord will plead their cause, and spoil the soul of those that spoil them. Psalms 94 and 6. They slay the widow and the stranger, and murder the fatherless. Proverbs 29 and 7. The righteous consider it the cause of the poor, but the wicked regard not to know it. Jeremiah 49 and 12. For thus says the Lord, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken. And art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. So God is of judgment and recompensing judgment. Psalms 27 and 10. When my father and my mother forsake me, then the Lord will take me up. God is the God of the fatherless. Now, God of judgment and justice. Psalms 98 and 9. Behold, the Lord, for he comes to judge the earth. With righteousness shall he judge the world, and the people with equity. Psalms 96 and 13. Before the Lord, for he comes to judge the earth. He shall judge the world with righteousness, and the people with his truth. Isaiah 11:4. But with righteousness shall he judge the poor, and reprove with equity for the meek of the earth. And he shall smite the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips shall he slay the wicked. Psalms 10:18. To judge the fatherless and the oppressed. Psalms 82:8. Arise, O God, judge of the earth, for thou shalt inherit all nations. So,